I'm out of practice. Not sure why I stopped streaming. Um, I Duh. I hit stop streaming by mistake. I meant to like, turn the display off while KSP reloaded. I didn't bork it. KSP crashed. Tell me the stream is back, please. Oh, good. Oh, good. Yeah, no, I'm just amazing what not doing this for 3 days does, and basically working for 3 days straight. 4 days, however many, I don't know. It's been some number of days since I was actually doing this. I've sort of lost track of time. Hopefully I saved this at some point in the recent past. So yeah, we got to build a terminal landing stage with probably about 500 meters per second delta V. I don't know, something like that, something like 500 meters per second. Oh, I mean, we've been doing sprint straight through. It's just it's been kind of busy at the moment. Let's see how much work we lost. Okay, only that. Oh, almost nothing. That's great. Particularly because I actually remember broadly what the dimensions were on this. Base was going to be 6.6 meters. Let's reduce the height a little bit. While we're here, we'll put the propellant tanks on. It's weird. 1.1.3 does not crash very much, but apparently today was not my day. Fill it. Okay. These are on the 90s, aren't they? Yes. All right. And let's put some, oh, tarnation. Tarnation. We can't set this to enable crossfeed because it'd crossfeed from that. Well, that's fine. I have my ways. Where's the LMD? Lunar module descent engine. All right. As I said, I have my ways. These gimbal, so we don't actually need RCS. Service module. Moon. All right, that's a decent thrust to weight ratio, but that's way more delta V than we actually need. Yeah, that's I don't know why it crashes. Okay. Looks like we don't actually need that much propellant tank. We're looking at that's a actually okay. Not sh um, not sure whether I actually want all of them, all four. Because the real thing would be about um, 6 or 7 tons at this point in the landing. So, yeah, I guess 4 is about right. If we go the other way, 15, it would be 3, but yeah. You could go, yeah, the problem is burn time, actually. The problem is burn time. So I think what we're actually going to do is do this. That's really not a lot of propellant. That's sort of shocking, all things considered. Let's also go ahead and move these right the heck up. There. Okay. 562, that'll come down to about 500 once we add all the other gunk on. What did I want? I wanted conic sides. Oh, this is still on the wrong number of nodes. And we'll just go for Atlas sides for now. And you get a height increase. You get a height increase. All right, that will do. Okay, so that's good. Now we do need a ladder. Where's the ladder? Okay. No, I want 1x symmetry. Where is the ladder? I don't even know. It's way out. That's so weird. Where did the ladder go? Must have been on a fairing side that I deleted. All right, so let's try this again. How long is this ladder going to be? Let's find out. Not very long. This is right about now is when tweak scale would be a good thing to have. The position of the engines doesn't look even. What? Oh, you're right. You are right. Why is that the case? For view. And now, engine. Why is it even letting me do that? That's annoying. How are we gonna... Oh, I guess we can use the offset tool, can't we? That will let us center them. That looks more centered, doesn't it? Good eye. Thank you for spotting that. And let's also move these down a bit. Okay, are they now centered? I think they're now centered. Let's move you in a little bit more. That looks better. All right, that's good. I confess myself happy enough with that. All right. Now we're going to take advantage of not having offset limits. So, one ladder. Oh, why were they in 2x mode? That's annoying. And let's save. I'm now going to try to compulsively save. No. I want the ladder. There's the ladder. So, up you go. Okay. And we'll put a second one on. And we'll put a third one on. All right. And let's extend, let's move this out so we can still grab it. And same with this one. And same with this one. All right. So sadly, yes, it does mean that they will be floating in space when we decouple these. But them's the breaks. Hey, Egg. Okay, so this. Oh, this is the mid ladder. This is the high ladder. Okay. Parallel, roughly. There's one. Oh, that's an interesting thought, autosave. I mean, somebody can make a mod to do that. But I don't think I can put it in stock at this point. That is a good idea. I'll ask how complicated that would be. All right, there's the second part of the ladder. And maybe we can move this down a little bit more. No, that really is about the extent. Okay. How can we economize here? Move this down a little bit and out a little bit. Move this down a little bit. And the rotation is now slightly messed up. Okay, and now we should be able to move this last one down slightly more. All right, so they don't have to jump very much. I don't actually know. Undo may well use a different mechanism. I kind of don't want to poke undo to find out, because it's kind of funky. Finally, we need things to land on. So, That's interesting. That's... Alright. 4 of you on the 45s. Okay. Hopefully those struts are beefy enough to handle this thing. I kind of don't know. I also really would have preferred to have them underneath somehow, but I can put 6 on. Yeah. Okay, that looks a little better. That also looks somewhat more survivable. Let's see. We want to be a fair bit below those engines because those shock absorbers will absorb. Alright. That seems decent. We're down to... those are clipping. Alright. Let's look at these. How might these work? Okay, these... Oops. Interesting. No. In that configuration, that's too much. So what do we... How do we actually want to align them? I think we want to align them... like that. 2x. We don't want 2x. That's random. We want 6x. And let's move them out. No. Alright, we'll just go with the small ones. We'll be okay. It's just the moon. It's not the Earth. They don't have to hold that much. This thing is only 40 tons anyway. Alright, so we've established our ladders. We've established our landing gear. So now all that's necessary is a crasher stage, and that crasher stage should have just shy of 3 kilometers per second delta V. Should it? Yeah. Yeah, it should. Oh, if underuses save... Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to Jim about that tomorrow, maybe, if I remember. Okay. So... Now, the interesting question, if you're playing an American version of this, is what the heck would they have used for the crasher stage? For the engine on the crasher stage. I guess we could just use a bunch of Apollo Service Propulsion System engines. Because frankly, the only other option is an LR91, but it only has one ignition. Oh, I thought you were doing storables only. Oh, if you're using a Hydrolox crasher stage, you can probably do this in about 50 tons. Maybe. No, crasher stage has to ignite more than once, no, Mr. Bond. So an LR105 is not going to work all that well. You know what, the heck with it. I want the clean look. I will accept the fact that they will clip. So we're going to do that. 6.6. Oops. 6.6. I mean, yeah, specimen spiff, my assumption was that you wanted an example of a 3-person purely storable. Because if you're doing it with a Hydrolox crasher, it's just not going to be very heavy. Yeah, if you're willing to use non-American engines, then there are some neat options open to you. I mean, also you don't actually. So technically, you don't need it to reignite because you could set up your lunar periapsis just right. If you had like a 20-kilometer lunar periapsis, right over where you wanted to land, you could just do it all in one burn. So, Egg, I've live streamed enough solids regarding the moon that I'm not going to make a I'm not going to make a solid crasher stage. Although that is an interesting thought. But I don't really have any mods that have large enough solids. I mean, I guess we put some Caster 30s on it. Oh, no, I don't want that many nodes. You are in the wrong stage. Yes, I could cluster solids. The interesting thing about that, actually, is that I wouldn't have to cluster that many. Let's try 6 on 90 degrees. So you know NASA did have a plans for an all-solid Nova back when they were designing Novas in the late 50s. I think JPL had an all-solid in the Nova class. So interestingly enough, that delta V actually works out. I'm really kind of shocked. That's Egg. You should not give me ideas. It's bad. Let's see how 6 instead of 7 works. $27.72. Let's do the numbers on this. But the gravity losses make a difference. 528 plus 27.72 minus 950. That's probably about right to land, actually, given that we don't have to worry about DOI or anything funky like that. Okay, so... Oh, right, this is lunar G, you're right. 5 Gs, but you wouldn't be firing them all at once anyway. You'd presumably be firing... let's see. You'd presumably be firing them about like this. One to capture and start your descent, and then the second set to kill off basically all of your horizontal and vertical speed, and then come down on that. Okay, so this is disgustingly compelling. It is, however, 127 tons. So we ain't going to do it. Instead, probably let's just do the hypergolic SPS version, shall we? Which will basically involve the same trick as before, only this time I'm going to do it a little differently, I think. We want fillet cylinder. SPS. Service module. Three meters. Oh, I'm hitting the wrong thing. All right, let's calculate this again. 950 for capture plus, let's figure, so the real thing was about 2470 for landing. 2470 is 3420 minus 528 is 2892. Right now okay, so we're good. So it's an 11-minute. What if we put another one here? And how close together can we get these things? And they're interpenetrating slightly. All right, so we can't put a fifth in the center. That's tragic. That's very tragic. We can, however, oops, do that. That helps a little bit. Let's bring these together. All right, so due to the giant tank butt, they don't quite work out, but it'll be okay. The 11-minute burn will not kill me, and I'll tell you why. Because, watch this. So it's actually a 6-minute or more burn to insert, and then a 6-minute, no, it's like a 5-minute burn to insert, and then a 6-minute 37-second landing run, which is the equivalent of flying with a throttled down lunar module descent engine. So I think it'll be okay. I think that will be okay. I would prefer, of course, to put a fifth one on here. And that would take, oops. Oh, but it won't crossfeed, will it? No, it won't. Yeah, really, we need a high thrust hypergolic engine that has reignition capability, which we ain't got. Does the the RD? Where's the RD-0210? Yeah, one ignition, but it would serve much better. I think I can probably get away with maybe only one of them, but let's see how two of them work. Uh, okay. Yeah, so that's a... Well, that's interesting. That mass ratio is not what I expected at all. Oh, because they're service modules, first of all. That's my first mistake. All right, specimen stiff. My initial estimate at mass ratios was completely and totally wrong. It turns out that, broadly speaking, you're correct that it's well over 100 tons to do this direct. There's some mass savings that I could do elsewhere. That's only 1 ton. How heavy is this fairing base? It's only 1.4 tons. That's really not bad compared to the insane setup here. All right, so let's compress this quite a bit, right to there, and we'll have a short, really fat tank. Whoa, that's a lot of... Okay. No, cylinder. Okay. 6.6. What the heck happened there? All right, that looks better. Where'd these sides go? Let's put these sides back on. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're still looking at 115 tons. So that's kind of shocking. I really expected to be doing it on, you know, what did I say, 80 tons? 90 tons? But no, it's 115 tons. I did a pure hypergolic one, but with the VA capsule, which shaved a ton off the command module, which meant that everything else got lighter. I was back in 1.0.5. So, yeah. But with Hydrolox, this would actually, this would get much, much lighter. With Hydrolox, let's look and see what happens with Hydrolox. Presumably we'll use RL10s because we always use RL10s. And because a J2 crasher would be kind of ridiculous. That's the S15400. Where's the RL10? There's the RL10. I think we're basically going to want the equivalent of an S4, broadly speaking. So let's first of all move up to the right tech level of RL10. I think would be this one for TL3. Man, even a Hydrolox, it's going to be 90 tons. Wow. All right. So yeah, your masses aren't that far off. No, egg solids were not better. Solids were like 150 plus tons. And that was using solids from like the 1990s, not the 1960s. So it was kind of cheating. We do need to do cryogenic, though, for this. So that'll cut the delta V off some. I think at this point, we might do better on staging grounds to increase the delta V in the terminal stage a little bit. But yeah, this is basically 90 tons. So there is an Apollo Direct with a essentially the S4 itself as a crasher stage, and then this small terminal landing stage, and then the Apollo CSM. We're also handicapped slightly because we're actually heavier than the real CSM. So yeah. So you basically, now it's interesting that comes out pretty much exactly at 90 tons, which is pretty much exactly twice the Saturn V's TLI mass. I mean, pressure-fed hypergolics have improved a fair amount since then as well. Like you can get, I think, something crazy like 330 seconds or so. What does the Estes 2 do? I mean, the Estes 2 is pump fed, but the Estes 1 was not. And it gets 340 seconds vacuum, despite not even being staged combustion. That's nuts. So yes, hypergolics have improved since the 60s as well. Yeah, if we had that specific, that's broadly like what the RD0210 had, right? No, the RD0210. Oh, is it the wrong config? Oh, no, we only have one config for it. That's a really low specific impulse for. I mean, that's not much better than the RD275, right? Where is it? 253. Yeah, 316. And then with the alternate configs, RD275, 316, 315.8. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Anyway, so there we go. But yeah, with 90 tons, here's the interesting bit. Look at that. Essentially, you would either need literally double the TLI payload, or you do it to launch. 324 seconds is still fairly decent. What's the AJ10-118K anyway? K is 319. Okay, so not much improvement. Right now we have 360 kilonewtons of thrust. We are not upping it to 1900 kilonewtons, or no, it's like 20. It's about 2,000 kilonewtons of thrust with an SSME. You would have like a 30-second burn time. Would it? No. 360. So about a third, a sixth. Yeah, it would have like a minute and 20 seconds burn time. So no, not a thing that would actually be useful. Although if you mean launch it, replace the J2 with an SSME, and then replace the S2 with a set of SSMEs, then yes, that would make more sense. Yeah, I mean, basically, you'd just be making mega energia, I think. You'd probably do something like have. No, the Vulcane is not actually that good of an engine. I mean, it's much cheaper than an SSME, but it doesn't have anywhere near the performance. The HM7B has decent performance, but it's if memory serves, that's it's also open cycle. It doesn't have that good of a vacuum specific impulse. I don't quite remember. I mean, Merlin 1D vacuum has the best specific impulse in vacuum you'll see outside of. I mean, it almost has the same specific impulse as the latest RD58s, which is really pretty impressive for open cycle. But it's just because it has that gigantic nozzle. And you pay a mass penalty for that, although it's carbon fiber and radiatively cooled, so you don't pay that much of a mass penalty for it. Okay, I think I'm starting to slur a little bit, so I better call a stop to it. But anyway, it was good to see you all again. And I'll see whether I have time tomorrow night. May not. May. Don't even know. 446 seconds is comparable to like the 1980s era RL10s, but not where the current RL10s are, and still a almost 10 seconds worse than the SSME, although obviously there are other advantages. Yeah, no, it's a good engine, and it's like it's gobs cheaper than something silly like that. Yeah, the problem with the RL10 is it costs a bloody fortune. Should use RL60s. RL60s, great engine. Anyway, yeah, but I was talking about the C version and like the A4 2 and stuff. The B is like, I don't even remember what its specific impulse is, but it's high. It's like in the 60s or 70s, isn't it? Yeah, 465.5. Yeah, I was talking about the. Yeah, it's basically. So it's somewhere. So the HM7B looks like it's somewhere between the. Okay, so that's broadly the vacuum impulse of J2. It's a little better than J2. It's a little less than J2S. Vinci's pretty good. Yeah, the C1 is. Yeah. So I thought the C1 was better. I thought the C1 was in the 450s. I think like the contract specifies a specific impulse greater than 449 seconds, but I don't know quite what it actually manages. Yeah, Vinci that 465 is that would probably decrease our mass to about 80 tons if we had that. I mean, let's check. That does give us a mass penalty, but we're burning for a long time, so we can get away with 4 of these now. Probably get away. I mean, given the DCSS's burn time, we could probably get away with 2 of them. The C2, yeah. No, but the C2 is supposed to replace the B, and that's. I wonder why they don't want something better for Atlas, but whatever. Let's remove and re-add because this ratio is different. Shrink this down some. Remember about here, 8. Okay. Interesting. We ended up with about the same mass. We only saved a ton. It's because they're super heavy, I guess. I'm not really sure why we didn't save more doing that. That is not something I know an answer to. No, Mr. Bond. But yeah, I mean, or if you like, whoa, what happened to our? That's weird. Procedural parts are weird sometimes. Oops. Okay. There we are. That's better. Yeah, if you actually might want to hop into the RO channel, no, Mr. Bond, because that's where basically all the rest of us jokers hang out, and somebody there might have an answer for you. I don't know. Vinci's 500. What's the thrust on Vinci? Like 300-400 kilonewtons, I would guess. Or is it less than that because of the big nozzle? I should know this, but I don't remember it. 180. Okay. Yeah, that seems... Yeah, I guess you pay for... You get what you pay for. Because of that heavy nozzle. Yeah, I mean, same deal here. Like, it's... Huh. That actually... Wow, the Vinci actually has a worse thrust-to-weight ratio than the RL10B2, and that's saying something. That's really saying something. That's sort of shocking. But yeah, I mean, I guess those nozzles, they're you pay for that specific impulse. But I mean, I guess if you burn for 15, 20 minutes, then it's worth it. Yeah, yeah, long burn times a day. But yeah, I gotta stop. It is now 3:30. So I will see you all soon, and/or in the RO channel where you can ping me, and I will notice once every couple hours or so when I tab back to it. I'm sorry that I am so busy these days. But I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.